Hi there guys, this is Cassandra or Riffle in Time, and I'm so glad you're here. It's almost spring. And we are doing spring decks and the sun is out, it's shining, do you see it? Actually, it's hitting some of my little window like holographic things, and I'm getting rainbows, so it just feels right. It feels right today. We have 10 decks here. These are kind of like decks that I'm either always drawn to for spring or kind of I've been thinking about using this spring. So one of them is technically a thinking because I haven't had it in spring yet, but I've been really drawn to it since the weather has started to shift. So I have a good inkling of knowing that's going to be it. And one thing that really rings true is that once spring hits, I get really naturey. I get really into my nature decks. I really get into like the bright colors, the pastels, the pinkies. Like I just really live for it. And probably the deck that I've talked about the most, but being like one of my spring decks, is the Practical Magic Tarot. And I'm really excited because I have not had this in the shop for like a year now, and I got it back just in time for spring, and I'm really happy. This deck is just always going to be a spring deck for me, spring and summer. I use it during that time of year every year since I've had it for years, and it's always from the first little sprinklings of spring until the like it's finally fall kind of days. This deck is I can't put down, and I actually just recently talked about it in my decks that I can't put down video because spring is starting. And this deck immediately just like kind of swam off the shelf right to me. I'm just obsessed. I have talked before about some of the reasons I think it's a springy summery deck. First off, like it just really, like the colors, it's really giving in the colors, but also there's something about this deck that always has given me like 90s collage vibes, and I literally can picture like sitting there like cutting up magazines, doing a collage, and like filling out the Cosmo quiz, kind of like pool vibes. And even the bag, this one has like a different bag with like each edition. Like there's 2 different bags for the ones I got, but this is like an older edition, so this was like the summer fruit one. But I really love this bag. I really love this deck. I don't know where I was gonna put it. I'm excited to have it back out. By the same creator, Chinge, there is another deck that I have been really loving for kind of like an all the time deck, but I think it's really going to suit spring very well. Again, the colorways. Also, this one is just like a really like light and sweet energy, and I think that's my spring vibe. I don't really... Okay, so now that the sun's not directly in my face, we'll open up that window a little bit and get some light. But I just think that spring is when I'm giving myself a little bit of a leeway. I'm getting myself a break from like the hard work I got through winter. I deserve delight. I deserve sweetness and kindness and gentle love. So speaking of gentle love, the next deck, the Gentle Tarot. As soon as I can get out in the woods, this deck comes out. This is like my little out in the woods bag. I love the linen edition, but any Gentle Tarot will do. And this is nature, this is gentle, this is fun, this is good vibes, good energy. So bright, so colorful. I'm gonna turn some of these cards for you so we can take a look at a few, but very Practical Magic gives me very 3 of Cups energy. Maybe that's what it is, but this is just another deck that really suits my kind of lighter, joyful, like loving energy. I think that the sun, the bees, the flowers, I'm so excited for it all to be back. All of the little moving parts that have been asleep and hibernating and gone for the winter, you know, all of the And I say that and the sun comes right back. But I think the lighting is really nice for the card. So I will take a little bit of sunshine to the face. And I mean, oh, and my sweet little piece of citrine that goes in there. It's just like 3 little terminated heads there, and they're just beautiful, and love you. Keep my deck nice and safe and sunshiny. So another deck that I love to use when I'm feeling that kind of energy. No surprise. I love, oh wait, that was my last card. I love the Playful Heart. I love it so much. I think, let me see, can you see? Hopefully you can see in this dark, dreary world. I think this has the perfect energy for that springy summer vibe. I think it's playful. I think it's, it's funny. It's the Playful Heart. It better be playful. But I think it's just loving and joyful, and it brings me just so much happiness. And that's what I need right now. I need to fill my cup up of just joyful happiness. I need to be back in the land of the living. So fill my cup. This was me all winter. I need some magic, you know? And this deck just really makes me feel the magic. Also, the edges on my copy are so beautiful. There's another vibe that's coming. I'm gonna get through all of like my sunshine decks. Did I just listen to this craziness? I just threw my Arrow deck in this bag, all willy-nilly, all crazy. I didn't put it back in the box. I was so excited. Okay, let's resituate ourselves there. There are 2 more decks that are just kind of bright and beautiful. And then the remaining 4 decks are that nature energy. So, oh gosh, hold on. I forgot there's a lot of She-Wolf that I can't show, but it is this beautiful pink, bright, and whereas certain decks do nudity in like another kind of way, this always feels like empowering and not like jarring or like triggering or any kind of, it just doesn't feel like it's trying to provoke me in any way. But this deck is just, it's always been that kind of spring summer vibe deck for me, and it does like a lot of that. It's very, very nude forward though. It does a lot of the kind of retro-y vibes of like color wise, and that I think has something to do with it too. I don't know, cover the nudity, but like lots of florals, lots of, this is like such a good sun card. And I don't know, the even the edges, it's just screaming to me, it is spring. This is just like historically a deck that I use a lot in the spring. Maybe this year I won't though. Maybe I won't. Who knows? Who knows who I am this year? This is Tarot of the Cosmic Seed, and this is one of the few decks that I played with this winter that was more of this kind of what feels like, it's so like bright and floral in a lot of ways, but I think what helped it is there's a lot of that bluey kind of some darker energy too. But I think that this is going to be a delight this year. And oh gosh, let's focus here. I think that it again does that like real bright, lots of florals. This blue is going to be cooling and refreshing, you know. It's like I'm picking out a drink menu for the spring, but it's just like, it gives me just a really good springy, end on a good note. Look how beautiful. I think that this is just going to be a delight this year. I've not had this deck for spring yet, so this will be my first spring with it, but it definitely felt right coming off the shelf for this. So a lot of those decks are there because of their like brightness, their kind of floral, feminine, like pinky vibes, you know, like a lot of light, bright pastels and kind of the feeling I want to feel for spring, which is like joy and sweetness and, you know, but I have some that are just, they're just nature. And that's like, I'm like imagining right now the trail I frequent, like just like starting to turn green, you know, and it's just, I'm excited to go. So we have 4 decks here that are very nature. And so first we have the Magical Nature Tarot. And these decks are just perfect for the kind of like grounded nature energy that I'm looking for. Love this little wishy flower one. This one is just so beautifully, not only is it like literally like one of my most nature forward decks because like it is the Magical Nature Tarot. It was also like created from pigments made from like plants, and so cool. There's so many different like plants that were involved in like the coloration of this deck. And like the next 2 decks are like super sustainable decks from like the papers they're printed off, how they're like actually made, and the inks that are used, and I really love that about both of these decks. So the Magical Nature is a good deck for, I pretty much use this deck all year round except for the winter. I don't know what it is, but it's like, maybe it makes me too sad in the winter. I'm like, it's not outside right now. It's not it. So the next one, the other one that is like really consciously created is the Oak, Ash, and Thorn. This is the mini, but all of the decks that from 3 Trees Tarot are made like really sustainably. And I think that's a beautiful little piece that makes them even more wonderful. But I just want to go see my forest creatures. Now, I do really love this deck in the fall, but I think there's a lot of still like spring and summer energy here that is good for all year round. And I'm just really excited to be seeing these creatures outside again. I'm just so glad the whole gang's back. We're all here. And it just feels like really fitting, really suiting. I love the little hermit. He's so precious. But you see it here, the nature, the floral, the creatures. This is like my favorite animal-based deck. Then we have a deck that I've been mentioning a lot lately. I'm sorry. I'll stop after this. I was able to snag a copy of the Forest Lore Tarot before it went out of print, but it is going to be a lovely spring deck for me. I'm just really excited. I'm excited to be using it. Oh, actually seeing some of these reminds me of other decks that might be cool. So that's exciting. I think that this is going to be a perfect addition though. I really love it. I'm sorry for showing it. I really try to stay out of showing my out of print decks, but I'm happy to have them. The Tarot of the Great Outdoors is a newer deck to my collection because it's a newer deck in general, I guess I must say. But this deck is what it says it is. And I love it. This is a deck that I'm going to be using all year round. And honestly, I probably could have used this a lot more in the winter. I forgot how like seasonal it was. Like it really is, it has all the seasons. That'll be good to note for next year, because I could have used this colorfulness into my winter. I think that would have been beautiful. But I really love the nature of this deck, and I think it's so brightly colored. Oh, I think I took too many. Oh wait, I don't know if you saw this. But it makes me want to go and just be outside. And what do I need? Like, I need some nature buddies. That's what I need. I need someone who wants to go like play in the woods and go hiking and do all these things with me. But I think it is so bright and beautiful. And it is like the epitome of a nature deck. Look at it. It gives me the smiles. These sweet little guys. But yeah, I want to go outside right now, just looking at it. And sometimes I need that because like I get in here and I'm like, oh, but I have things I need to do. I have work to do. I need a deck that's just like, no, go outside. Run to the outdoors. Thanks for hanging out. I was just really excited to be talking spring.